It's morning and I'm sitting outside and it's quiet. It's the start of what many Christians call Holy Week or Passion Week. In 1 week, people will be celebrating Easter egg hunts and bunny costumes and maybe a ham. Maybe you'll get together with friends or family. And like most holidays, it's a time where people plan for and prepare and get ready over this next week. And our culture fills these next 7 days with all this materialistic stuff. Not all the times bad things, just lots of noise. On this first day of Holy Week, I'm reminded of Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. In Luke 19, we read that Jesus got on a donkey. His disciples went and found a donkey, they put him on it, and he rides this donkey into Jerusalem as people are laying their cloaks on the ground and shouting praises, and they're shouting things like, "Praise the King who comes in the name of the Lord." Israel's ancient prophets declared that one day God would arrive and rescue God's people from their enemies. Israel was waiting for a king who could ride into Jerusalem to bring justice and peace. Jesus' entry and all this noise about his coming are actually activating the people's hope. They think that Jesus is going to be the kind of king that they've been waiting for. But Jesus actually goes on to ignore all this hype and praise. Luke 19 goes on to say that when Jesus sees the city of Jerusalem, he begins to weep. Jesus can see what is coming and he begins to cry. He knows that Israel is looking for a different kind of king and that they're going to miss altogether the kind of king that Jesus actually is. And Jesus knows that the people will turn on him in a few short days, angry that he's not the kind of king they hoped for, and Jesus will die. This is a noisy, chaotic, joyful scene as people are praising Jesus' entry. And they're praising this fashion that they've made in their mind of who they hope Jesus to be. And amidst it, Jesus weeps. As a church, we're going to spend Holy Week going through a short devotional each day, and I want to invite you to pace along with us as we follow the events that led Jesus to the cross and then resurrection. Today, let's start by drowning out some of the noise and chaos around us. Let's pause and simply start this week out with a prayer. Find a quiet place and in your own words, ask God to help you be open to who the real King Jesus is. Not a God who just benefits our own needs and desires, but a God who is making all things new in sometimes unexpected and maybe even painful ways. God, help me to be still and quiet this week. God, I pray that I would be able to surrender any anxious thoughts and maybe the temptation to fill these next 7 days with a lot of things that just don't really matter, a lot of empty noise. God, I pray that you would teach me a little bit more about your character and who you are as King, who's doing something new in our world and in my life. Check back with us tomorrow as Jake leads us through day 2 of Holy Week.